Columbus police are searching for a suspect in a shooting that left one person in critical condition. Tonight's event even features interactive experiences like this one. You scan the QR code on your phone. When you do it, you come to these posters and they come to life. Shortly after we did get here, though, we saw a group of deputies walking out with what appear to be riot weapons, shields, various types of weapons walking outside of the facility. The search for 5-month-old twins Kason and Kyer Thomas started last Monday evening when Columbus police say Nala Jackson jumped into their mother's car and sped off with the boys. But I do want to show you this. Back over here, this is where the National Weather Service thinks that tornado touched down. You see that kind of parting in the trees right there. The responses showed that many people wanted these rapid flashing beacons. This is that beet juice, that solution they're putting on the ground. It's the ice, it's the snow, it's kind of that nasty mixture. Here's the thing though, it's so cold it can't even really work well. All right, Ben, thank you very much. And Whitney Harding joins us now with tonight's sports. And Whitney, the ladies, they were balling out tonight.
Oh, it's ladies' night tonight, and I am here for it.
Today's crime blitz by the Whitehall Police Department was all about cracking down on crime. Their goal was to be out on the streets, making their presence known. Whether you know it or not, there is always someone watching.
If you come into Whitehall, there's probably a police officer somewhere watching what you're doing.
Today, the Whitehall Police Department conducted a crime blitz. Sergeant John Earl with Whitehall PD led us right along with him. He says they do them randomly throughout the year in an effort to crack down on crime.
Our crime stats are lowering due to these crime blitzes. It's, you know, our main thing when it comes to them is getting the word out that, hey, you don't know when we're going to be doing one of these. Don't come into the city of Whitehall and commit crimes.
Everybody drive safe.
The day starts with a meeting to lay out a plan of action. Everyone, even the canine officers, are involved. Once it's finished, it's time to hit the streets. Within an hour of us on patrol, a call came in.
We got alerted by our flock cameras that a stolen vehicle had entered the city.
And in less than 10 minutes, the car was recovered.
Stop! Police, stop! Get on the ground, hands up right now!
The stop turning up more than just a stolen car.
Passenger had felony drugs in their possession, and the driver would be arrested for possession of the vehicle.
Sergeant Earl says these types of stops are important in the short and the long term.
They're using these stolen vehicles to go commit other crimes because you can pretty much get away undetected.
The blitz featured a number of stops today, including one that turned up a person with a warrant. Another, a man at a bus stop with an open container. And then give him the citation and then you'll let him go.
Yes, he's able to care. He's able to care for himself. He's not overly intoxicated, but again, it's proactive police work that's going to prevent problems before they get out of control.
Sergeant Earl hopes these crime blitzes are evidence of the work Whitehall Police is doing to better their community.
Your police department's out here working hard every day. You know, these officers are dedicated to the mission of, you know, keeping the city safe.
Whitehall Police say they have several more of these crime blitzes planned throughout the rest of the year. Their ultimate goal is that every single Whitehall resident feels safe in their neighborhood. Local for you in Whitehall, I'm Caleb Michael, NBC4. When the Latitude 525 apartments were condemned in late December, many of those residents had nowhere to go. But fast forward to now, some have found their new home at Brettonwood Senior Center off of Cleveland Avenue. And as we'll hear from a woman tonight, it's a miracle.
I never ever lived in a brand new facility.
This is Ann Barrett. She's smiling today, but that was not the case when we first met. Ann first shared her story with me when she was being evicted from her Latitude 525 apartment complex.
So I dialed 911 and the fire chief said evacuate the building.
The apartment was uninhabitable.
With the power being shut off and no running water, no heat, you can't leave here anyway.
From there, she was forced into a community shelter before going to the Red Roof Inn. That is until
I got my apartment on my birthday, which was January 18th.
The best gift she could ask for. Fast forward to now, and she's got a whole new outlook on life.
I'm really happy to be here because I don't have to worry about no gun shooting. It was like really living in hell.
It's stories like Ann's that motivate National Church Residences CEO Mark Ricketts.
I can't imagine a more tragic thing than discovering within 24 hours I can't go back into my own home.
Because for him, they've got one goal in mind.
Well, the mission is just to advance better living for seniors,
which he believes the new 62-unit housing complex will accomplish.
It's incredibly rewarding to then hand them a key and say, here's your new place.
And for Ann, she can finally start to live again.
Feels like a new beginning for you.
It is a new beginning. I am happy because I'm in a room right now filled with people that's nice and clean.
After what's been a very long road.
I'm celebrating. I couldn't celebrate on Christmas, but I'm celebrating this day right here.
We weren't able to take a look inside of Ann's new apartment today. That's because a lot of her belongings are still at latitude 525. She has not been able to get them, and there's no word on when she'll be able to. Local for you in Columbus, I'm Caleb Michael, NBC4.
That is where we find NBC4's Caleb Michael, who has been speaking with residents there. Caleb, they are now in that cleanup process. How is it going?
Yeah, Jen, they are in the cleanup process. It's going well. There are bins and different things going on. They've been cutting up trees today and really cleaning up the trash. But one thing that a lot of people I spoke with today have touched on is that yesterday's tornado really put things in perspective. As this community begins to rebuild,
you sit there and you think, like, man, you know it could have been worse.
For some, it was a moment of clarity.
My biggest worry, to be honest with you, was my kids. This is all replaceable.
Justin Stafford was not home yesterday when the tornado hit, but his two sons, Jonathan and Matthew, were.
My 14-year-old, he said that he heard a lot of noise. He heard my youngest, my 11-year-old, scream out.
Thankfully, Justin says his boys are okay. This video from a neighbor across the street shows the moments that tornado came through and all that it brought with it.
That, from here to there, that's how far it pushed my trailer over.
And that shed on the other side, it looks like it kind of stopped it.
That's what I'm saying. That's where I'm at with it.
People in the neighborhood say this tornado, it came quick, it came fast, it left its mark. And now they're coming together and they're starting that cleanup process. And it's not just the people who live here helping to clean up. One man named Schizo came out today to see what he could do.
What goes through my head is these people are hurt, man. These people, you know, life was one way yesterday and now it's a completely different way this day.
Even ordering pizza and water for people because he says it's about the little things.
So I can imagine these people just being hurt, you know, and that's what we're here. We're here to show, you know, set some light, show some love and bring some hope.
Finding that silver lining, it's something Justin can get behind.
As long as you got love and you got family, you pick up and you go. You know, you learn to remake things happen.
Here's another look at some of that damage. This tree just completely uprooted from the ground, and also, like Miles has touched on, the National Weather Service said it was an EF0, wind speeds of up to 85 miles an hour. Also, no injuries or fatalities to report. Local for you in Orient, I'm Caleb Michael, NBC4. And I'm Caleb Michael in for Matthew Herchik. Getting over the weather right now, we turn to Storm Team 4 meteorologist Liz McGiffin with a look at our most accurate forecast. Looking at today, we were talking about the Crew home opener. Seems like it's going to be a pretty nice day for kickoff.
It really is.
Liz, thank you. A church outside of Hillsboro is now without a roof after a tornado touched down in southwest Ohio last night. That tornado hit around 6 o'clock and about 6 miles east of Hillsboro, a town just over 6,000 people. It's about an hour from Cincinnati. Here's a look at that tornado. The church is going to need a new roof, and several nearby homes and buildings were also damaged. The tornado ripped through Kim Armstrong's backyard. She saw it coming, snapped a quick photo, and took off.
To run like hell.
Many homes were still without power when we left the scene last night. A hefty cleanup effort is now underway. Columbus police are searching for a suspect in a shooting that left one person in critical condition. Police dispatchers tell us officers were called to East Blake Avenue in the Argyle Park neighborhood around 5 yesterday evening. That's where they found one person who had been shot. The victim was rushed to the hospital. Anyone with information about the shooting is asked to call Columbus police. And happening today, we're entering day 3 of the Arnold Sports Festival. It's already been a fun-filled week, all kinds of athletic competitions, people from all over coming to Columbus, still so much more to come.
This is such an exciting weekend.
And it's now been more than 1 month since that train derailment in East Palestine. Coming up, what outside researchers have to say about the site of the crash. Convicted killer Alec Murdaugh has been sentenced to life in prison after being found guilty of murdering his wife and son. Judge Clifton Newman spoke directly to Murdaugh, noting that the jury concluded he lied throughout his testimony, particularly about his alibi and his omission of being at the scene of the murders moments after his wife and son were fatally shot. Murdaugh received 1 life sentence for each of those murders, but he is expected to appeal the verdict. Strong storms spun off a likely tornado in the Paducah, Kentucky area yesterday, causing extensive damage. The storm hit quickly and ripped apart homes, even a church in the area. We're taking a look at some of the damage right now. Large pieces of debris were strewn around near the damaged structures, trees knocked down. Officials in Kentucky have stated at least 4 people were killed in the storms all across the state. At one point, more than 500,000 people were without power.
My goodness.
We turn now to Storm Team 4 meteorologist Liz McGiffin joining us with our most accurate forecast. You know, we had some tornadoes earlier this week, but thankfully seems the winds have died down. We shouldn't be expecting any of that today.
Oh yeah, and especially the timing of this.
A new startup company is giving some extra money, all by doing laundry. Richard DeMiro has more in today's Tech Smart. First Lady Jill Biden is set to host an International Women of Courage award ceremony at the White House next week. The award ceremony is expected to take place on March 8th, which is International Women's Day. It will take place at the White House for the first time in the award's history. Each year, the award recognizes women from all around the globe. Since 2007, the Department of State has recognized more than 180 women from over 80 countries. All right, sounds like a plan. It's gonna be a nice weekend.
It
we get
will
outside
be.
and do something.
Thanks for waking up with NBC4 today, everyone.